let me ask you something. When your automation script clicks a login button, how does it know which login button to click? Think about it. A web page can have multiple buttons, multiple text boxes, multiple links, and sometimes multiple elements that look almost identical. So how does automation know which exact element we want? That's the problem we are going to solve. And in this video, we are going to start with one of the most important concepts in web automation, XPath. But don't worry, I'm not going to start by throwing complicated XPath expressions at you. First, I want you to understand what XPath actually is, why we need it, and how it helps us in automation. Once that makes sense, writing XPaths become much easier. Let's get started. So what is XPath? So what exactly is XPath? XPath stands for XML Path Language. The name might sound complicated, but the idea is actually very simple. XPath is a language that we can use to locate elements inside a structured document. And when we are doing web automation, that structured document is usually the HTML of our web page. So if you want to find a username field, a password field, a login button, or a particular link, XPath gives me a way to identify that element. That's the basic idea. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine I tell you, go to the parking lot and bring me the white car. You might say, okay, but then you reach the parking lot and you see 20 white cars. Now what? You would ask me which white car. Maybe I need to tell you the car number, the parking row, or the model. The more specific information I give you, the easier it becomes to find the exact car. Web automation has exactly the same problem. Imagine a web page has 10 buttons. I simply tell the automation tool, click the button. Which button should it click? It doesn't know. We need to give it enough information to identify the correct element. And that's where XPath comes in. Here is another way to think about XPath. Think about your home address. If I tell you I live in Bangalore, can you find my address? Can you find my house? Of course not. Bangalore is huge. Now imagine I give you the area, the street, the apartment, the floor, and the flat number. Now you have much better chance of reaching the exact location. XPath works in similar way. It gives us a way to identify where an element exists inside the web page. So you can think of XPath as an address for an element. Now, let's see this on a real web page. I'm going to open a website and right click on the page. Then I'm going to select inspect. And now we can see something interesting. On the left, you have the web page, and here we have the HTML. This HTML is what we are going to work with throughout this XPath series. For example, here I have an input field, and here I have a button. As a human, I can look at the page and immediately understand this is the username field. This is the login button. But automation doesn't look at the page the same way we do. It needs a way to identify those elements. That's where locators come into the picture. And XPath is one way of locating those elements. Why do we need XPath? Now, let's think about a normal automation test. Imagine we are testing a login page. Our test might do something like this. Open the application, enter the username, enter the password, click login. Verify that the user is logged in. Looks simple. But let's stop at the first step. Enter the username. How does the automation tool know where the username field is? It has to find that element first. And the same thing happens with every other action. If I want to click something, I need to find it. If I want to type something, I need to find it. If I want to verify something, I usually need to find it. So before automation can interact with an element, it needs to identify that element. XPath is one of the ways we can do that. XPath does not click. Now, there is one important thing I want you to remember. XPath itself does not click anything. XPath doesn't type anything. XPath doesn't enter a username. XPath simply helps us find the element. The automation framework performs the action. Think about a delivery address. The address tells the delivery person where to go, but the address itself doesn't deliver the package. In the same way, XPath tells automation, this is the element you are looking for. Then the automation framework can click it, type into it, or perform whatever action is required. So remember this simple line. XPath finds, automation acts. Where is XPath used? You might be thinking, is XPath only used with Selenium? No, XPath itself is not Selenium. XPath is a separate language that can be used with structured documents. You'll see XPath being used with HTML, XML, browser developer tools, and different automation and parsing technologies. In automation testing, you'll commonly come across XPath when working with web elements. So learning XPath is not about learning one Selenium command. You're learning a way of navigating and identifying elements. Why automation engineers should know XPath? If you're learning automation testing, you'll constantly work with web elements. For example, text boxes, buttons, links, checkboxes, radio buttons, drop downs, tables, menus, and many other elements. And one of the first questions you will face is how to identify this element. That's why XPath is an important skill, especially when you work with applications where an element doesn't have an obvious unique identifier. You need to understand how to look at the HTML, understand its structure, and build a locator. That's the real skill, not memorizing XPath expressions. Don't memorize XPath. And this is something I really want you to remember. Don't learn XPath by simply memorizing expressions. For example, don't just memorize something like slash slash, open bracket, at equals, and then try to reproduce it. That might help you remember the syntax, but it won't help you solve real problems. Instead, learn to look at the HTML, understand the element, understand its relationships, and then build the XPath. That's how you will become comfortable with it. Can XPath find multiple elements? Here is another important point. XPath doesn't always identify only one element. It can potentially match multiple elements. For example, suppose our web page contains 5 input fields. If I write a very broad XPath, I might get all 5. If I make my XPath more specific, I might get only one. So when we write XPath, we need to think about something very important. Does my XPath identify the element I actually want? And ideally, does it identify it uniquely? We'll spend a lot of time on this in the upcoming chapters. Why XPath is powerful? One reason XPath is powerful is that it isn't limited to one way of finding an element. We can build XPath based on attributes, text, and relationships between elements. We can also navigate through the structure of the page. For example, we can move from a parent to a child or from one element to another related element. And later, we'll also learn about something called XPath access. That's where XPath becomes really interesting. But we are not going there yet. First, we need to build the foundation, advantages of XPath. So what makes XPath useful? First, it's flexible. We can identify elements using different properties. Second, it can handle complex HTML structures. Third, it allows us to navigate relationships between elements. And fourth, it gives us powerful functions that we'll learn later, like contains, starts with, text, and normalize space. But XPath also has some disadvantages, and it's important to understand those too. Limitations of XPath. If you write a very long XPath, it can become difficult to understand. And if your XPath depends heavily on the structure of the page, a change in the application can make that XPath fail. For example, a developer might change the HTML structure. Maybe they added another container. Maybe they change an attribute. Maybe the element moves somewhere else. If your XPath depends on those details, you may need to update it. That's why writing a good XPath is not just about making it work today. It's about making it maintainable. We'll come back to this later. Common beginner mistakes. Let me quickly cover some mistakes I see beginners make with XPaths. First, they memorize syntax without understanding the DOM. Second, they blindly copy whatever XPath the browser generates. Third, they create extremely long XPath expressions. And fourth, they don't check whether their XPath actually identifies the correct element or not. The goal isn't, can I write an XPath? The goal is, can I write a reliable XPath that identifies the element I actually need? That's the mindset I want you to develop. Interview questions. Now, let's look at few common interview questions. Question 1. What is XPath? A simple answer is XPath stands for XML Path Language. It is used to locate and navigate elements within XML or HTML documents. That's enough for a basic interview question. Question 2. Why do we use XPath in automation? You can answer, we use XPath to identify and locate web elements so that the automation framework can interact with them. Question 3. Does XPath perform actions? The answer is no. XPath only helps locate the element. The automation framework performs the action. Question 4. Is XPath only used with Selenium? No. XPath is a separate language and isn't specific to Selenium. It can be used with HTML and XML, and different technologies can make use of it. Question 5. Can one XPath identify multiple elements? Yes. Depending on how specific the XPath is, it can match one element, multiple elements, or no elements. Before we finish, I want you to do a small exercise. Open a website, right click and select inspect. Now pick 5 different elements. For example, a text box, a button, a link, a checkbox, and a heading. Don't write XPath yet. Just look at the HTML. Ask yourself, what element is this? What attribute does it have? What text does it contain? What other elements are around it? Most importantly, how would I uniquely identify this element? Don't worry if you don't know the answer yet. That's exactly what we are going to learn. So let's quickly summarize what we learned today. XPath stands for XML Path Language. It helps us locate elements inside structured documents. In web automation, we commonly use it to identify HTML elements. XPath itself doesn't click or type or perform actions. It simply helps us find the element. And most importantly, don't try to memorize XPath. Learn to understand the HTML and understand the DOM, and then build your XPath. But there is one thing we haven't learned yet, and this is probably the most important foundation. Before we start writing XPath, the DOM, because XPath doesn't look at a web page the way you and I look at it. XPath works with the structure of the document. So in the next chapter, we are going to understand HTML, the DOM, parents, children, siblings, ancestors, and descendants. Once you understand that structure, XPath will start making a lot more sense. I'll see you in the next chapter.